name is Vina, aka Miss WOC Reader, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome to another book review. I think it's been a little while since I've sat down and did an individual review, but it's about that time. So like the title suggests, I read a viral YA book, and I'm here to tell you my thoughts. So this one is called Twelfth Knight. It's a Reese's YA book club pick, so a lot of people are picking it up right now. Now, I was already intrigued to read it, like, before I had asked for an ARC for the publisher, because I was interested. Like, I saw the cute cover, the concept sounded different, and then, like, I got an email that, oh, it's been picked up for Reese's YA book club, and that intrigued me because a friend and I had been talking about how Reese's YA book club kind of went defunct, and we saw, like, a lot of the YA book clubs go away. Like, there were no book picks for last year for Reese's YA book club, so it's interesting that they revived it, and this book was the reason why. So this one is Twelfth Knight. Like I said, it is a Twelfth Knight retelling, which, okay, like, blame the heat, blame me just not being a Shakespeare fan, like, it didn't click till the 36% mark for me that this was a Twelfth Knight retelling, like, despite the damn title. I've never read Twelfth Knight. Like, I'm familiar with the concept of it. I've seen, like, retellings of it. Most notably, She's the Man, which is one that a lot of people kind of reference. And I'm, like, not a Shakespeare fan. Like, I know, like, his plays are the basis of so many stories we love, but I just have a hard time, like, reading Shakespeare. And in high school, we only read A Midsummer's Night Dream and Taming of the Shrew. And speaking of Taming of the Shrew, Viola is definitely a shrew. So we have our main character, Viola. She is a Filipino girl being raised by a single mom. She has a twin brother named Sebastian. She is vice president of, like, the student senator, whatever they're calling it at that school. And she is hardcore feminist, like, hardcore feminist. Like, she would give herself pats on the back during the story for being so feminist. She had a litmus test for her mom to gauge how feminist she was after her mom starts dating a guy and is, like, falling into a steady relationship with him, which is something that her mom usually doesn't do. She's kind of like a date him and then leave him type of gal. So, like, it actually felt kind of weird because I'm like, I hope nobody acts like this in real life, because, like, it was giving very white feminism at that too, because even though Viola is a woman of color, as we know, women of color get treated differently, I don't feel like that part was discussed enough in this book for me. Like, how it's just not a girl, like, it's not just people being sexist against girls and women, but that there's, like, a whole different treatment when it comes to what the woman looks like. So she is a hardcore feminist, and she plays, like, these online role-playing games. She likes to read sci-fi and fantasy. And as we know, like, those fandoms are pretty sexist. Like, there's a lot of guys who will constantly try to mansplain you, like, the big sci-fi books. So, like, I get how she has to kind of fight for her life in that regard. At the same time, like, she's painted as, like, a big nerd, and I'm like, are you still considered a nerd for watching, like, Game of Thrones? Because they had this in-universe Game of Thrones that everybody loved and referenced, but they kept referring it to as this very nerdy thing, and I'm like, but non-nerdy people watch Game of Thrones. Like, that House of Dragon show, I see the most non-nerdy looking people, like baddies, like, talking about that show every week. It's not like a nerdy thing. So in some regards, this book did kind of feel like it could have been written 10 years ago. Like, it wasn't as up to date, I feel like, for what, like, to reflect today's teens, because I feel like there's a lot more acceptance than there was before. But I do agree with the part that, you know, you do kind of have to fight for your life in those sci-fi spaces. And so online, she when she's doing her little role-playing games, they play this game. It's called Twelfth Knight. It's this Arthurian world inspired game, and she plays this character named Cesario, so which is a man, and that's how she moves about in that world. So enter Duke Orsino, aka Jack. So he is a football player, nicknamed Duke because his dad was like the king and his older brother was like the prince. And football is his life until he gets injured, and then he has to stop playing. So he's bored, waiting to heal, and his brother's like, why don't you play this game? It's a very interesting game, you know. I got into it when I had an injury and I was stuck on the couch. And also, why don't you try this like new show as well? Like, it's really good. You need something to distract you and make you happy. So he decides to start getting into this world of Twelfth Night, and he just becomes consumed with it. That's when he meets Viola, aka Cesario, and they start talking and chilling. Viola immediately knows who he is because he uses like his real nickname, but he doesn't know who she is, and she convinces him that when it's time for them to meet up, that her brother Sebastian is actually him, even though her brother knows nothing about gaming. So that's basically the gist. Like, if you've read 12th Night, you kind of know how it's going to end up. Obviously, this is a romance, so they're going to end up together. I really, really did like Duke. Loved his POVs. Also, sorry, I forgot to point out, so he is biracial, so his mom is white and his dad is black. And so, definitely, like, great diverse cast. Viola was a little harder for me to love. Like I said, if like the morality and the feminism wasn't hitting me in the throat like for most of the book, I would have warmed up to her a little easier. Plus, she's just like not the best friend either. Like, she leans into being an unlikable bitch like really heavy, and I'm like, girl, why are you like that? Like, she didn't even have like a ton of like deep trauma for like that to be a reason. Like, granted, her dad was never like in her life, but other than that, she had no reason to be as rude and nasty as she could be. And she does learn to be better by the end of the book, so there was that. Overall, I would give it like around a 3. It was a cute story, nothing extraordinary, nothing that's going to make me giggle. I feel like had I not been listening to the audiobook like for a long chunk of it, that I would have probably just zoned out because it got a little like wordy in the middle there. But like I said, it's cute. I really enjoyed Duke. Adorable character. Like, I wish we would just address feminism in YA a little bit better. I feel like in general, the YA of now compared to when I was a teen tries to like hit you with the morality stick all the time and beat the moral lesson into you and not let you come to your own conclusions based off of what's going on in the text. Like, they gotta tell you this is right, this is right, this is right. And I still feel like we are on that white feminist like that's the approach of feminism that authors take regardless of race when it comes to these books, and it's so annoying because I'm like, being a feminist doesn't just mean like, oh, anything men can do, women can do better. I feel like let's move away from that and have more complex, nuanced conversations. And I don't feel like we're quite there yet. So those were my thoughts on 12th Night. Have you read it? If you have, let me know in the comment section below. Are you interested in reading it? Are you a 12th Night, aka the Shakespeare play fan? If you like this video, make sure and hit that like button. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!